We're testing different settings on this microphone. This is the third computer in a week. It's been really frustrating trying to stay up and running on every aspect of what's going on. What we're seeing on the globe today is unprecedented as far as mankind is concerned. We've had pandemics. We've seen pandemics come and go. The unfortunate thing about this pandemic is the way it's being exploited. We know that when it makes no sense on one hand to funnel people into a kill zone and then act like you care about them being killed. When you tell people they're imprisoned in their own homes, that they can't even get in their cars and drive around the block, either getting pulled over, there's checkpoints, but yet if you go to the grocery store, you're allowed to pick your nose and grab the door handle and grab the carts and grab the groceries and pick up produce and put it back down. Now, wait a minute, time out. There's got to be some sanity, and when you're lacking sanity, that reeks of either grotesque stupidity and negligence by people who are usually very smart, or you're talking there's an ulterior motive to all of this. When you're supposedly staying home to keep from dying, but yet then you go to the grocery store, which is probably one of the most grotesque places you can be. People funneled in there, touching everything that you touch. And you're being misled. You're being told that gloves aren't a good thing to wear. That nothing could be further from the truth. The excuses they give. You're just going to spread it around anyways. What kind of answer is that? Medical people wear gloves? Are you saying they shouldn't wear gloves in surgery? Shoot, anytime a surgeon accidentally touches his drape, touches the bed rail, touches anything that hasn't been sterilized, he's got to put on another set of sterile gloves. And we know why this thing is so contagious. It sheds those little pods, those little buds. There's a cleaving enzyme called furin, F-U-R-I-N. Furin is a protease that allows you to split your DNA so it can be copied. They find furin in mammals, especially humans, and one other virus. That would be HIV. No, the SARS virus does not have furin. No, the bat coronavirus does not have furin. But yes, CV19 has furin, and so do human beings. So when somebody reports that there's HIV-like proteins inserted into this virus, and then they find that this virus shares a couple traits, 3 or 4 of them actually, to HIV, then you start to wonder, what are the other HIV traits shared by this respiratory virus? Well, one of them is it suppresses your immune system. The other is its strong electropolarity, which allows it to attach to cells quite quickly and quite strongly. So the furin, the electropositivity, the CD4 suppression, in prolonged incubation, all kind of resemble HIV. And so people ask me if those HIV inserts could alter the genetic makeup of that virus and make it more virulent, more aggressive, more dangerous. And I said, it's just like gene splicing. So the other thing is wearing 2 pairs of gloves on one of your hands. The hand you're going to open doors with, the hand that you're going to first grab everything, that comes in contact with nose picker hand. Okay? This guy opened your door. This guy is handling cash and giving it to the cashier. So the doorknob is by far the first thing you're going to come in contact with, or the handle of a shopping cart, and you have to use that glove to open that door. Once inside, get rid of that glove, and you have a second glove underneath. Hand transmission is the most common form of human-to-human transmission. Even indirect transmission is usually done by hand contact. This virus, because of its strong electropositivity, because it sheds those little tiny packets that are very light and airborne, will stick to your hair, your clothes, material, plastic, anything that carries a charge will attract those virus particles. Might be a good time to shave off your manly facial hair, at least for a couple months. I was in a grocery store and saw a stocking clerk in the frozen food with his frozen insulated gloves, stroking his beard that comes out from underneath his face mask. Are you kidding me? Stay away from my groceries. So double gloving is good on one hand, and to two hands, especially if you've got the gloves. You can use Ziploc bags, quart bags. You can use sandwich bags, anything to grab a doorknob, turn it inside out, and throw the bag away as soon as you walk in. You can put plastic bags, gallon bags, over most people's feet. Big guys, not so much. But those become very, very good foot covers. Remember, a wet virus is a heavy virus. It becomes tacky and sticky because the glycoprotein polysaccharide shell or envelope that becomes tacky, sticky, heavy, will adhere to flat surfaces. So you don't want to take your shoes, walk around a nasty place like a grocery store, and then put your shoes all over your car. And then you turn on your heater that blows down towards your feet, and you've got issues if you do that. So wrap your feet in these gallon bags. You can buy 12 for $1. Come on, put them on your feet. Take them off when you get outside the store. Also take your gloves off, peel those off, and away you go to your car. Also, wearing a glove keep you from touching your nose, your face, your eyes. So anybody who says wearing a glove isn't recommended to the grocery store is a damn liar. Or they're listening to a damn liar and repeating it. This is ridiculous. Wear gloves and wash your freaking gloves. Wash them every 30 seconds. Wash them every 10 seconds. Wash them every 5 seconds. That's what you can do if you're wearing gloves. You can bathe your hands in hand sanitizer without destroying your hands. And if you got a barehanded clerk with no mask on, I would not run my groceries through that aisle, and I would ream the manager, because you literally could kill 10 people in a single day just by touching nose pickers' money and then everybody else's stuff. And then you get sick and you shed. I mean, literally 10 people. You can get 10 people sick just by handling a $1 bill given to you by somebody with hands that are contaminated. And what are hands? Hands are the number one source of transmission on the planet. And notice how nobody's talking about it. It's all about the mask, the mask. Well, let me tell you about those masks. Those N95s, if they leak at all, they're no good. You have to be measured for them. Number two, at lunch, if you take them off for lunch, you've ruined everything that the N95 is supposed to be doing. You should have a second mask to put on after lunch. Everybody should have 2 N95, before and after lunch. Once you grab your mask with your hands, it's done. Supposedly, there's viral particles on the outside of that mask. What are you doing grabbing it? Why are you putting your thumb on the inside of the mask? What are you trying to do? Get yourself sick, and you go into a hospital cafeteria, watch the people wearing N95s. You're supposed to leave them on. Now, another thing about N95s. In the old days, you took your mask off in between patients and got a new mask. But the N95s, they're wearing from patient to patient to patient to patient. Well, this is why, this is why you're not going to be able to control this pandemic. And if you could control it, I'm not so sure that they wouldn't just drop another mutated virus here and there. And finally, let me just get this off my chest about viral mutations. Mutations are 99% destructive to a cell. When your genes get mutated, you don't turn into something more powerful. You don't morph into a Power Ranger or the Hulk, do you? You don't morph into Superman. You don't. Mutations ruin your protein sequences. They prevent you from making enzymes and proteins that you need for vital functions. If you have too many DNA mutations, many DNA errors, your DNA is done. And that's what causes viruses to burn out in the first place. They only have so many replications in them. Just like a tire has only so many revolutions on a car before it's no good anymore. So many replications down the road, your viral particle should lose its virulence. It should lose its ability to hurt you. And so to me, if you're finding a virus with a mutation that makes it stronger and more deadly, you're just identifying another protein insertion that's been inserted in the lab. So if you have something that looks a little more like Ebola, well, that's not a mutation, it's an insertion. But they're being reported. Oh, look, we found another mutation. This thing just mutates and gets stronger and stronger and stronger. That is not the order of the biological universe. Mutations, 99% of the time, are harmful to the organism. So until next time, hope you learned something.